And I think, Greg, I wanted to commend Greg. If anybody wanted to take a picture of this stupendous, they use this in the Crucillo movement. Is that right, Greg?
Good Friday walk.
Okay, I'm going to hand this over to Greg and he can explain this to you.
This cross here is used on Good Fridays. We generally do a small walk on Good Friday. We've been doing it for about 15 years, I guess, or longer. We made every parish in Orange County. We made almost all the parishes in Beaumont. There's one parish in Orange County that we have not made, and that's Our Lady of Lourdes in Vidor. And we're planning on doing that this coming Good Friday. We're probably going to start in Our Lady of Lourdes. We're either going to walk from Our Lady of Lourdes to St. Helen or Our Lady of Lourdes to St. Maurice in Mauriceville. And then we have on Pentecost, we have a longer walk. We generally walk from Texas all the way to Prairie Rome, Louisiana, which is near Opelousas. It's a 3-day walk, and it's just for men, though. So if any of you men would like to walk on that Pentecost walk, I see a bunch of guys here who's already been on that walk. If you're interested, get with us for Good Friday. Get with us too. We'll get that going. One more thing is this cross is hollow. As you can see, the top of it it's got a little door on there. We put intentions in there, and so when we walk, we carry people's intentions. And when the cross gets full of intentions, we burn them, and then we sprinkle the ashes at the cemetery in Prairie Rome for all the good people over there, and then we put some ashes back into the cross, so we're still carrying them intentions with us. So if you'd like to make some intentions before you leave, I have some papers here. You can make some intentions. I have a little baby here that I brought. I'm going to drop that in the cross, and then for 40 days for life. So when we're walking with the cross, we'll be walking for 40 days for life. We got Rick. Where's Rick?
Right here, bro.
Rick took this cross to Dallas.
Yeah, 2005.
2005 for 40 days of life over there.
First one they ever did.
So this cross has a lot of miles on it, and that's the story of basically the cross.
We carried to Port Arthur one year too. We were all throughout Port Arthur one year, on the west side. You forgot to mention Port Arthur.
Okay.
We're leaving from Mauriceville this year, by the way, midnight.
Okay.
You didn't mention that.
Pentecost Walk.
Yeah.
Over says we're leaving from
That's what they
Mauriceville.
tell me. We're leaving from Mauriceville.
Generally leave at Wednesday at midnight.
Well, we meet at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, go to Mass, and then we leave at midnight.
Oh, that's Mass at 11. So this cross, Bruce Manuel started walking. Bruce Manuel's from Moss. No,
I think he's from Moss Bluff, wasn't he?
Moss Bluff.
I think he's from Moss Bluff.
Yeah, he lives in Moss Bluff.
He's dead now, but that's where he's
He
from.
started walking in the Crucillo. He was one of the first Crucillo members in
He started it.
Prairie Rome. And Bruce started walking with a cross, and Bruce actually walked from Lake Charles to Mexico City, carrying a cross on the shoulders. There was 4 of them, and they had a small vehicle behind them for support. But they would walk to Mexico and go through towns, and people would hear about it, and all the Mexicans would come around and get on their knees, and then they would be invited to the parish, and they'd get talks, and they would just, these Mexicans had so much faith. So I actually walked down there to Mexico City, went into the cathedral down there, seen the shrine. So that's what's enticed this walk. We have now several crosses walked. We have one from Texas leaves, we have one from Baton Rouge that leaves, we have one from DeQuincy that leaves, we have one from Lake Charles that leaves.
Lake Arthur.
Lake Arthur. And I think there's one more new one from somewhere.
Yeah, we got 6 or 7.
But with the spiritual, you find out real quick. The first walk I made was from Mauriceville. We had a guy that made a crazy idea that we're going to walk to Texas all the way over there. And there's 4 of us, and I found out in the first mile that you cannot carry a cross by yourself. You find out that you gotta have God, because I was about ready to die after about the first 4 miles. And we decided we had to be on a time frame. And by the time we got to Deweyville, we was all just torqued out. We had blisters on our feet. And we spent the night in the park on the park benches. Mosquitoes were tearing us up. And we got in between DeQuincy and Trooper LeBlanc was coming from DeQuincy, and he seen us, and he's like, guys, get in the truck. No, we're going. We were like dogging almost. We found out real quick that we can't make walks. We got to have somebody that takes that walk with us, and we're walking in footsteps. When we figured that out, we made that first walk all the way to Prairie Rome. EJ's feet was, he didn't have any
Feet left.
He didn't have anything on the bottom of his feet before he got there. He walked the whole way. We take our suffering, we take it on that cross, and there's been some major healings and miracles on Pentecost when we do these walks. It's amazing. But yeah, it's all for Jesus. And
Trooper LeBlanc went from Lake Charles to Washington, D.C. about 3 years ago. He had mentioned that.
yeah,
That was in 04.
Trooper went from
Yeah, it was 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
They were gone
Trooper
about
went
4 months.
to Washington. It was like a 3-month trip.
Wow.
3 or 4 months. I forget.
They made the cross on the United States, and they went to abortion clinics. Every day they went to a new abortion clinic, and they would walk 20 miles around that abortion clinic, on the blocks, in the sign of a cross. Every day they were at a different one.
This is
a different one.
We call this the Texas cross. This is actually the second cross. The first cross, the guys nicknamed it the Widowmaker because it was like 60 pounds and it's killing us. By the time we got going to close to Prairie Rome, there's like 5 or 6 guys on it, and everybody else is on the middle crosses, you know. So we made a few years ago, we made this one out of Cypress, and it's
Much lighter.
yeah, even
Much lighter.
so.
You know, it was
Jesus
about 40
cross was, I
pounds.
know it was heavy, but we're just weak humans, and so. But anyway, it's a truly spiritual encounter if you ever go on. And even the Good Friday walks are good. If we bring families. We had one guy bring carriages with babies in there, and it's awesome. But anyway, I got to get off the box here.
Let me say one more thing about this cross.
In 05, I went to Dallas with it, to the first 40 Days for Life that was organized. It was done up in Dallas. And the following year, I got invited to go to an abortion mill in Austin that they had been boycotting the concrete for it. And they held them up for 18 months on getting that abortion center built. And they invited me to come up there with it. So I took Herb and my son, and we were driving up there. We were in Columbus, Texas. We needed fuel. We were praying the rosary as we were going, and we were on the 4th mystery of light, the Transfiguration. And we needed gas, so I said, we'll stop right here, and then we'll finish up this decade and keep going. While we're in there getting the fuel, this young kid walks out of the store. He said, hey, I've seen that cross. I said, oh, you have? Where do you live? He said, Port Arthur. I said, I bet you have seen that cross. Was it on Good Friday with a bunch of people walking behind it? He said, it sure was. And so he said, where y'all going? Well, I told him. He broke down and started crying. And he thanked us for what we do, because his mother was going to have an abortion. And some people praying out in front of a clinic made her change her mind. And boy, me and her broke down.
Oh, yeah.
And we were crying and hugging, and it was all great. And got about over that, and all of a sudden one of his partners walks out of the store, and they're Protestants. And he goes, oh, well done. Yeah, they sing the rosaries and stuff. And he goes, y'all Catholic, huh? He said, yeah, y'all want to have a Bible quiz? So I said, oh boy, here we go. Sure, why not? He said, where did Moses appear in the Bible? In the Old Testament or the New Testament? And so Herb says, well, it's an Old Testament. I said, wait a minute, Herb, think about it. I said, we were just praying the rosary, Transfiguration, Sermon on the Mount. Jesus, Moses, and Elijah appeared in glory. He's in the Old Testament and New Testament. That guy was going, oh, man. So God's got a sense of humor. God bless you.